But what I want to share with you will be more. Let's start with the earth, maybe. If we consider the daily master is earth, the earth itself will be the friendship spirit, and these two will be input and output. Mother as an input will be the fire, and output that daily master generate. The metal will be the child as output, and there are two aspects that daily master controls or controlled by. And what daily master controls will be the wealth. What daily master is controlled by will be the wood as an official spirit. And that one is applied to metal daily master as well. Can you see the different arrangement by the daily master's element? And this is for water. So if you can just memorize or try to just write down or take a picture of this for future reference. You don't need to really like memorize right now. I will repeat and repeat every time. And for fire, same element will be friendship, and then input output and controlling cycle, and wood as well. So Quartz, you said the in daily master is excessive and missing wood and water. For now, we will talk about if daily master is earth and then the earth energy is excessive, like that. Just let's start with friendship spirit is dominant. And I don't know the missing means weakness, but the missing element is possibly weaker. So you can say just the wealth spirit as a water and official spirit as wood are missing or weak. Just be familiar with those terms. And the two control aspect of daily master are both missing. There should be some meanings of that. But what I want to say today about this 10 spirit is we can divide just two sides. Like if we consider someone's daily master is metal, I go here and there, right? Like I go sometimes earth daily master, sometimes metal daily master. That's my purpose, to make you guys confused. We said the mother spirit that generates the metal is the input, right? And if we just think just generating cycle, it is the order of generating cycle, like that. Fire generates earth, and earth generates metal, metal generates water, water generates wood. So we can say this fire, the official spirit, we can call it as an official spirit because that controls daily master, but it is kind of input source of the input. It is input of the earth, right? Input of the mother, or we can say mother of mother. So I will consider this realm is kind of input realm because it is input, and official spirit is also kind of input of the input. So it's like in the input realm. What comes to me, what comes to myself, what comes to the daily master, that is kind of input realm. Same knowledge, same analogy. The friendship spirit generates what friendship generates. That element is called child spirit as an output. But if we consider this wealth as an like generating cycle, it is also output of the output, right? Child of child. So I will consider these realm as an output realm, okay? So we can divide those two sides as an input and output. Like official and mother they tend to be more like an input realm, and child spirit and wealth would be the output. Can we do that this one again for the water? Like if we divide these two, the earth and metal as an official and mother, those are input, and the wood and fire as child and wealth, that is more output. So that's the difference. Like if you want to figure out what element is dominant in your chart, firstly, just start figuring out, is that an input side or output realm side. For example, if daily master is water, and let's assume this person's child and wealth, the wood and fire, is a little bit more dominant, and official and mother is relatively smaller, we can start thinking, we can start considering, oh, this person might be more output relevant person, more strong output chart. We can consider like that. But what that means is, like, output world is the element or the spirits that is from the friendship element, that is from myself. I describe the child spirit as a creativity or any kind of action, any kind of talking, any kind of behavior that I do, that daily master does. That is more like output. And then the result of output, result of the money-making action or behavior or any kind of creativity from the daily master as a myself will be the wealth. That is the kind of the goal or desire that daily master want to get. And that is also outcome of the output. That is both kind of output realm, output of output, or outcome of output. If for water daily master, if wood or fire are bigger, this person's dominant energy is more like in the output world, and then input world is kind of less than output, and then input is usually considered as study or mother, and those output world are usually considered as money or money making. So those output is more the activity outside, the socializing, or exactly literally money making money. And input is more like study and learning in the school or from mother, any kind. And this official spirit is usually interpreted as being in certain organization, like school, work, any kind of territory that is controlling myself. I cannot really speak out in the work situation. In school, there is a rule, so I have to follow. That is more like official spirit. And then those organization is creating the mother spirit as a study or some kind of, if you follow some kind of rules very well, like you will be kind of loved relatively. Or if you really want to break the rule, those generating cycle is not really happening. So if you follow the rule, those generating cycle is happening. So that's the order. If your input world comes to you, that is more like a study time. That is more like a time for studying, time for learning, time for, don't want to say hiding, but it's kind of inner cultivation time for you guys. And if output realm is activated or developed, or if output Dian or yearly energy is coming, that is more like time for making money, time for go out, time for use your creativity to make some results like that. So those two realms are quite opposite. I'm kind of making this first section because many people are worrying about that. Like, if my fire is too big, and fire controls metal, right? Fire controls metal, and metal become really smaller. So what should I do? So is my metal in danger like that? If you directly just think about the controlling cycle, that makes sense. Like, your mother is in danger. Like, I can, some people who read the chart use that analogy to say your wife is in danger, like that. Oh, your mother is in danger, for based on this controlling cycle. But my opinion for this, if the metal is this small because of the too much fire as a dominant energy. Kind of, it's the time for making money, and then it is not the time for studying right now. And if the other one, like if metal is like that big and fire gets smaller, that means more about the time for being in a school, time for learning something, time for studying, time for being with your mom, being with your teacher, like that. Then naturally the wood energy will be smaller because metal controls wood, right? If metal is too big, wood gets smaller relatively. So that is the difference between being in a school and then go outside and then making money. Like, it's really hard to learn something, cultivate yourself, taking the exam, and at the same time running your business. That is kind of a really hard thing. Some people can do if those two are really balanced. But for most of people in school time, when you guys are student, you guys are not kind of less making money. And if you run a business and then start making money, you study and learn less from the school. So that is the timing of our life. And certain time, there is a mother spirit comes to me, and then that is the time for studying, literally. And then if there is a wealth spirit, we can say the wealth as a money, it's a time for focusing on the money making or the making the result. And then the input realm become really less. So that is the time for going outside and then do something for the result, not just learning in the school or at home. So it's a difference of timing. So the best thing is mother spirit comes in the student time. That is the best. Mother spirit comes when we are younger, and child spirit or wealth spirit come to us like after 30th or 40 something. And that is kind of the order the people usually consider the age difference, like for studying or working. So that's the ideal timing. But for some people, like for younger age, child spirit and wealth spirit gets bigger and then ignore the studying. And later, like after 40 years, suddenly mother spirit comes very strongly and then go to school like after 40. Go to university and graduate school after 50. That's also possible. Those timings are different. It's not about certain person are in danger or certain, yeah.